Hello, this is Cheryl Meyer, and I'm Cherylmhealthmuse, and this is your Stress Buster number 20. And this one's all about travel. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my life. I had my own jewelry business. I still have it. And as a result, I have traveled a lot. I sold all the majors. I have flown all over the United States, which meant that I was getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning, oh joy, to make it to the East Coast in time to make an appointment. And one year, I actually went overseas to Asia 10 times. So needless to say, I have traveled a lot. And now that I have autoimmune disease, I travel and take care of my health at the same time. So these are my stress buster tips for travel. And some of them you may have heard of, some of them you may do, and some of them you may never have heard of, but I want to share them, especially since we're coming up to the busiest holiday of the year. So, number one, if at all possible, travel on the day of the holiday. Get up early and catch a really early flight if possible, or go late the night before because the roads are less busy, the airports are less busy, airfare is cheaper, and if you book early in the morning or late at night, you won't be dealing with quite the amount of crowds that are everywhere. So that's the first tip. Second, pack a bag to check, this is my own personal opinion, and then take a small carry-on with you that doesn't have any of the things that security's not going to let you go on the plane with. So in the little bag, you want to keep a few of all of your medicines. You want to keep maybe your makeup, but not your liquid makeup because they won't let that go through. Your stainless steel water bottle should be packed, and you should have an empty plastic water bottle on you so you can fill it up at a water fountain. I do not drink water from plastic, but when you travel, you really have no other choice, and it's important that you drink water. So take an empty plastic bottle that you can fill up, and then keep it so that on the return flight you can fill it up again. But the rest of the time, don't use water in your stainless steel water bottle and get rid of all that plastic residue. Do not check your coat. I was with my husband in Philadelphia. There was a snowstorm. He put his coat into his luggage because he didn't want to carry it, and they canceled our flight. We had to go into Philadelphia to a hotel room, and he had no coat, and it was cold as heck. Now, we were lucky that we were in Pennsylvania because the Philadelphia airport actually had a store where he could buy a coat. But I would recommend that all the bulky items that you are taking for weather with you, boots, gloves, hats, coats, you wear them onto the plane. If possible, you put them in the overhead. If not possible, they're soft to be around your feet. That way, you don't have big, bulky luggage that you're checking, and you are prepared no matter what happens, whether you divert off to Nova Scotia or whatever happens. You have warm clothing to keep you comfortable no matter where you go. Take an extra t-shirt with you and extra undies, just in case. The extra t-shirt is because I went to a Whole Foods once and ate from the salad bar, and I got food poisoned. So in the middle of the flight, I all over myself, and I had an extra t-shirt, which thank God I could go to the bathroom, take off the thing I got everything all over, I threw it out, and then I had something clean to put on. So now I always travel with an extra t-shirt, just in case. Okay, when you're packing, pack your laptop and your liquids and plastic bags last. Put them on top of your carry-on so that they're easy to grab and put out for security to look at them. Do not wrap your gifts. They tell you you can, but they might unwrap them. So be really careful because you don't want them to have to unwrap your packages. I recommend you ship them ahead of time and let them meet you wherever you're going. Reserve airport parking in advance so that you're not driving around trying to find some place at the last minute to stick your car. And bring a phone charger with you and extra battery power if you can. Who knows what's going to happen, and you just might need that charger so that you can stay in communication with your loved ones no matter what happens at the airport or what happens on the road. Carry a toothbrush. You might run into a situation where you can't get where you're going, and you're going to want to have clean teeth. At least that will make you feel less icky. Take a photo of your suitcase before you check it with your phone, and then send it to a traveling companion or send it to a friend or a spouse, so that if something happens to your suitcase, you got the picture. It's really easy to get it and to give it to the airline so that they can find it. Take a photo of your itinerary, your plane boarding pass, your documents, your driver's license, your credit cards, and send those to whoever your traveling companion is or someone that you love that's home, just in case. You don't want to be, I'm in LA, you don't want to be in Philadelphia and not have an ID, because they're not going to let you get back on that plane. So make sure you have a duplicate of everything, just in case. Tie something bright and colorful on the handle of your suitcase. I have a giant thing that I put my address in that's bright yellow that's on the handle of my suitcase. You probably know all black suitcases look alike, so do something that's bright that identifies it as yours, so as it's whipping around the turnstile, it's real easy to know that that is your bag. Give a few items to your traveling companion. Maybe it's your lipstick and a type of makeup. Maybe it's another t-shirt and some underpants, and then do the same for them. So just in case something happens, you have backup with your friends so that you're not stuck. Use apps to determine when to leave home and then leave a little bit earlier. If you're going to the airport, you want to arrive there 2 hours ahead of time. And I know that you don't want to hang around in the airport, but trust me, it's worth the fact that you won't have stress worrying that you're not going to get there because something happened on the freeway or something happened on the road and you're stuck in traffic, because you have plenty of time to get there. Be your own entertainment system. I keep several books on my iPhone. I also travel with my iPad and I have books on it. That's important. I like to have Audible on my phone and on my iPad so I can listen to books if I get tired of reading. I like to take one hard book with me just in case something happens to my iPhone or my iPad and I can't use it to read and to entertain myself. That part's really important. And I take magazines with me because they're kind of good when you're just sitting there to let the wind blow through your mind. If you want to put your ticket on your telephone, back it up with a paper copy. I once only had it on my telephone and I'll be darned, my phone crashed. So then I had no ticket. So you don't want to do that. If you do that, it's great, it's quick, it's handy, but make sure you have a paper backup just in case. If you're driving, make sure that you know what the alternate routes are, and I use Waze for that. But make sure that if you don't have an app like Waze, that you are aware of where the alternative routes are. Get flight status updates on your phone if you're traveling by air so that you know if your plane's going to be taking off on time and that you need to stay close to the place where you're going to be getting onto the plane. If you have flight status updates, then you're always going to know what's happening. Before you leave home, make sure you have all the phone numbers that you need for family, friends, hotel, airline, rental car, credit card companies, all of that. Make sure they're all on your iPhone, and maybe you take a hard copy with you just in case, because you don't want to get stuck and not know how to get a hold of people. And in this day and age, I don't know phone numbers sometimes because I just dial them on my phone. So having access to some of those phone numbers has come in really handy. Print your ticket before you leave home. I always print a second copy and stick it in a pocket. That way, if I lose one, I have the other and I'm covered. And make sure you also take a copy of your itinerary, because it's great to have your ticket on the way there, but you're going to need to know what you're doing on the way back. So have a copy of your itinerary, and if possible, print your tickets before you leave for the airport so that you can just drop it at curbside luggage, or you can take it and drop it at the luggage place inside without waiting in long lines to get rid of your luggage. At the airport, if you're there early, treat yourself to a massage. Ooh, I love doing that. You can get them from 10 minutes to an hour. They will really work your neck and your back, and that's a great way to relax before you get on that plane. So treat yourself or go have a glass of wine and relax. Either way, you want to take care of yourself so that you travel stress-free. Bring your own food. This is a biggie for me. Since it's really hard to feed me, since I have 18 food sensitivities, I carry my own food. Sorry, the screen is moving around and I'm not sure why it's doing that. Carry your own food. If I'm in the car, we actually have a little refrigerator that plugs into the battery so that I can keep my Applegate cold cuts and my vegan cheese or my hard-boiled eggs by Vital Farms in the little refrigerator. But if I'm traveling airport-wise, airplane-wise, I still take all my own food. I always have a couple of apples on me. I always have celery and carrot sticks and maybe some jicama. I like to buy packets of almond butter. I buy Justin's. Be careful of the sugar level in some of the Justin's butters, but you know, that's a little bit of protein in case you need it. I take hard-boiled eggs with me. That always helps give me a little bit of protein when I need it. Nuts, always have nuts. Nuts are important. If you get stuck overnight and you can't get food, nuts can get you through the situation. So if you get restaurant food, this is an experience that I had. If you do stop and get some take-on food, make sure that they don't give you silverware that's metal. I picked up a great salad at a restaurant in Manhattan, went to JFK, was going through security, and all the alarms went off, and I got surrounded by security and the police because they gave me real silverware. I had no idea. Never occurred to me that they would give me real silverware. So I got frisked. I got lectured. The head of security had to come talk to me and tell me how terrible it was that I was taking real silverware on board. Just make sure that you tell them you don't want real silverware. And I know plastic is not desirable, but it's not going to kill you to use it the few times that you travel. So make sure that you're not putting yourself in any kind of jeopardy with metal on you. When you're on a long flight, I learned this on Northwest Airlines going back and forth to the Orient, do in-seat aerobics. Now, you're going to feel kind of silly doing this, but maybe you can get your whole row doing them with you, and it will make a huge difference in how you feel. About an hour before the flight landed, Northwest Airlines would lead us through airplane aerobics, and most of it was from the waist up. They were things like this, where we just were doing things to get the blood flowing. And then, you know, resistance and movement. March in place with your legs. Just get the blood going and do it for about 15 minutes. It will make a huge difference in how alert you are when you get off the plane. And it feels great. I know it feels ridiculous while you're doing it, but you feel great after you do it, and it's worth it. And if you can get everybody in your area doing it with you, if you can get them organized, which I'm crazy enough to do, hey, everybody will appreciate it. I have a blow-up pillow that I take with me on an airplane. It goes flat, and then I blow it up. So then at least if I get stuck in a in-between airport and their flight has been canceled and I can't get into any hotel and I'm going to spend the night in the airport, heaven forbid I have done that, hey, at least I've got this little blow-up pillow, and that will get me through in a little bit of comfort. And the other thing I always take is a big wool scarf of some sort, because that becomes my black blanket on the airplane. That becomes my blanket in the airport if I'm stranded there. And it can be fairly lightweight, but it's wool, and you'll be surprised how comfortable it will make you feel. Plus, it doesn't have other people's icky germs on it, so it's yours, and it will keep you warm and make you comfortable. So those are all of my travel tips so that you have a great travel to whoever you're going to visit, so that when you get there, you are calm, you are rested, you've been doing your breathing exercises, so you're jolly and happy, and you're there and ready to have a loving Christmas with whoever it is that you've gone to visit. So these are my travel tips. I hope you find them interesting and I hope they come in handy. It's really important. So ho, 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 I'm a health coach. I want to have you have the healthiest, happiest holiday ever. And if you need me, you can go to Cherylmhealthmuse.com and hire me to be your coach, because whatever your pain point is, I can probably help you get through it. Take a look at my website. I talk about where my specialties are, and I would love to launch you into 2019 to be the healthiest year that you have ever had, and to inspire you to make lifestyle changes that will make you healthy so that you don't have those weights around your ankles anymore. Ho, ho, ho. Thank you for watching me. I will be back tomorrow night with Stress Tip for the Holidays number 21. Have a great day. Enjoy your days. We're not very far away from Christmas now, so make sure that make them the best that they can be. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.